Is NWA the reason the community is so bad? What is up, guys? Gully Boy back at you with another video, and right about now I'm about to do a commentary on this whole special ed and NWA debacle. I know that I'm late to this, and I'm probably gonna be late to a lot of things as this is officially a commentary channel. All of my reviews are gonna take place on my second channel, so I'm gonna be revisiting a lot of things that I missed, and I'm also gonna be revisiting content that appeared on my channel, so things are really about to get interesting over here. But just in case you guys don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to this particular topic, I've been seeing all over social media that the rapper Special Ed has been going around saying that NWA is basically the destruction of the community and all of that. And if you follow me, you already know how I feel about people blaming the ill wills of the community on music, and especially when it comes to hip-hop, because that's where it's mainly done. Hip-hop is the reason for all of black people's problems, considered to some people, and I disagree with that wholeheartedly. And right about now, I'm about to go ahead and play some video clips. I got some clips from, I got a short that we're going to react to first, and then we got some clips from DJ Vlad. Although I'm not too fond of Vlad, I do want to shout him out because only he can interview Special Ed and all of these obscure black celebrities. So shout out to him. But let's go ahead and get right into it though.
NWA or Wu-Tang Clan?
Wu-Tang.
Okay.
Wu-Tang is for the kids. Wu-Tang was dropping knowledge and positivity.
All right, I gotta stop right there. The boy literally said Wu-Tang was dropping knowledge and positivity. Now, when it comes to the Wu-Tang Clan, the members of the group, they have their own personalities and characteristics. The Wu-Tang Clan was not like this all positive rap group. Like, did we forget the torture skit and all of the gangster street stuff that they rap about? I don't think you can just classify Wu-Tang as knowledge and positivity just all in all. So that right there is just like, nah, bruh. Like, go back and listen to that torture skit from 36 Chambers and tell me different. You know, they had plenty of songs like, bro, ODB was insane. Like, come on, bruh. Like, come on.
Right. You know, NWA brought the...
And it's crazy because now that I think about it, he said that Wu-Tang preached knowledge and positivity. NWA preached knowledge.
You know, NWA brought the age of destruction. NWA brought the age of destruction to our children and our culture.
That statement is insane. I hate when people make blanket statements like that to just put the destruction of our children and our culture on NWA. That is disingenuous, because the destruction, in my opinion, was inevitable, because the stuff that NWA supposedly glorified was already being glorified in the community. People don't like to go to the root cause of the issue, which is the community and the mentality of the people in the community. It was always, I'm not going to say it was always cool to be gangster, but in my era, and even in their era, it was cool to be a gangster. But we're definitely going to circle back around on that when we watch his Vlad interview. But to simply just say that NWA is the beginning of the destruction of our kids and community is BS.
I respect all of them as men, but as the art form, and you want me to speak on the art form, I'm gonna tell you what it is. That's where it started. That's where the agenda started, and that's where the destruction began. When
he says the agenda, he's basically talking about the owners of the record label and all of that and the type of rap that they push. This also goes back to the community, because just like I said before, in the black community, gangsterism is something that is put on a high pedestal. The record labels are only pushing what the people like. You could basically describe it as an algorithm. So the industry, and I think that Special Ed is going to talk about how at one point the industry did push positivity, but they pushed negativity at the same time too. And they're paying attention to what people are gravitating towards. Guess what? People gravitated more towards the negativity. because that is the mentality of the people in the community. I said this before. If we really want to change the supposed destruction of the black community, we have to change our mentalities. We just can't put it on music. I hate that because that's disingenuous and we're not really getting to the root cause of the issue.
The president sent them that letter. They went ham with that shit.
Right.
And WA ran away with it in such a way where it was like, for real?
Word.
That's all we gonna do? It was genius for them and they made millions of dollars off of it, but look at what it caused.
That's crazy, bro. And to talk about, the letter, I feel like the reason why the government and the FBI couldn't do nothing in NWA, I think Ice Cube said it before. All we're doing is expressing ourselves and reflecting on the things that happen in our community. We live in a country where one of our amendments is free speech. So you can basically say whatever you want to. I'm not going to say you can say whatever you want to say because there's repercussions for anything that you say. So like when it comes to the case of NWA, the things that they were saying were things that were happening in their community. And in order for that not to be glorified, guess what needs to happen? Those same things that they're talking about need to stop in the community. It wouldn't be a such thing as an NWA if gangsterism and treacherous lifestyles weren't already put in place. And when I say put in place, people gonna be like, you know what I'm saying? It's because of the government and all that. Yeah, true. But just because the government did certain things in order for us to live certain lifestyles, that doesn't mean that we have to live those lifestyles. So I'm all about accountability on the people and not pointing the finger at everything else. We have to be accountable for us as a community.
We always saying the police, but they said it on record.
On record.
Absolutely. For the record. And I respect them for that too.
All right, yes, but like I said, to wrap that short up, I just don't like when people just blatantly say that, hey, this music is the reason why the community is destroyed and becoming destroyed. They did the same thing with Sexy Red, I think like last year, saying that she's the reason why young girls are becoming thoughts. That is disingenuous BS.
Well, and that brings me to my next point, because you were on Drink Champs and you said NWA brought the age of destruction. And a lot of people, particularly other rappers, particularly other West Coast rappers.
How can you bring the age of destruction when the destruction was already there? That don't even make sense. It's because of NWA. No. Gangsterism and treacherous lifestyles are already in the environment that they were in. If it wasn't NWA becoming popular off gangster rap, it was going to be somebody else. The stuff that's happening in the community is already happening. How can they be the ones that's bringing forth the destruction? That's crazy to me.
Rappers had a problem with it. But when I first heard it, I said, yeah, I see where he's coming from. Me personally.
And of course, Vlad, bro, I feel like, of course, Vlad gonna agree with it because, Vlad just seemed so undercover to me. Like, I could be wrong about my assessment on Vlad, but I honestly and truly feel like he really disdains the black race. I really do. Because of course he's gonna agree that this rap music is the reason why the people is crazy. Of course you gonna say that. Because that's the same thing a racist white man is saying because of that jungle music. Like, come on, bruh. Hey. That's just how I feel.
I was like, yeah, I think that's a fair statement. And I remember I even interviewed Alonzo from the World Class Wrecking Crew, who was, Dr. Dre and DJ Yellow's original group. And, and a lot of
what Alonzo's going to be saying is going to be really interesting, and I'm going to break that down.
Those NWA records were done at his house and everything else like that. And he told me flat out in our first interview, he's like, look, when, he was promoting a lot of shows in LA, he said, look, when I was first promoting shows in LA, yeah, some gangsters would be in the crowd. And yeah, sometimes stuff would happen. There'd be some gang shit, whatever else. But after NWA came out and became uber popular, it'd be like 80% gangsters in these shows. And all hell would break loose on a regular basis. You can't say that NWA had absolutely no role in this.
I agree with that. You can't say that they have absolutely no role in popularizing something that was already being popularized. See what I did there? In order for NWA to popularize gangsterism, they would have to be influenced by it as well. And how did they get that influence? By living in the community where it's popularized. Come on, bro. Are y'all hearing me right now? Are you hearing what I'm saying? Just like I said, when the music companies promote gangsterism, it's what the people want. It's what we want. Because if you go to any black community in America, I guarantee you that gangsters get the most respect in those communities. It's true. You can just pay attention to our media. And when I say our media, I'm talking about our black media. Gangsters are loved. This is why gangster rap is so popular. Because we as a people love that shit. It goes back to the mentality of the people.
Although people argued with you that you were completely wrong.
When you look at the effects that NWA had in terms of gangster rap, not only affecting the music, but also affecting the communities and so forth. Well, what do you think about it?
Well, I'm going to tell you a little story. When I first got into the club business, 1979, now, first of all, gangs have been around forever in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Gangs had different reasons for existence. Some gangs started off to fight white people. Some gangs were designed to fight the police in the community, because what we're experiencing right now is nothing new. It's just being televised more. So the ratio of gangbangers to civilians was minuscule in the early 70s and early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, okay? Right after NWA, now I've been in the club business all this time, and I stopped making records. Went back to my second career, which is nightclub owner. What happened was NWA and gangster rap made gangster lifestyle cool. So the ratio started to change. Everybody was a gangbanger. It used to be 5% gangbanger, okay? Because gangbangers, once upon a time, had a code. You just couldn't have a gun. You had to be able to fight. You had to have something to bring to the hood other than a pistol. Well, at some point in time, when the dope and the gangbanging became profitable, everybody became a gangbanger. So now you got 95% gangsters or 90% gangsters and 10% civilians. And when that happened, everything went crazy, because now theaters, clubs, parking lots, the park, everything is a war zone.
Well, now what he said right there, I understand what he's saying. And I don't disagree with NWA having a part of influencing people to live the gangster lifestyle. But I just feel like it's disingenuous to put any blame on NWA. I really do. I honestly and truly believe that. And here's the reason why. He said gangsters, he was basically making it seem like being a gangster in the community was like some obscure thing, and I don't believe that. Because a lot of the rappers that I listen to, they talk about how they looked up to the gangsters. In order to look up to gangsters in the community, they would have to be put on a high scale of respect. That is the ill wills of the community. We put these people on high pedestals as something that we have to look up to. And he said NWA basically made gangsterism more popular and more people became gangsters. But who popularized it for NWA? War zones and stuff did not come because of NWA. That's another thing that's BS. He said it was war zones, bro. That's been there. What? That's just like when they try to say Chief Keef is the reason why so many people were dying in the drill era. No, people were already dying, and they were going to continue to die. It's not because of the rappers that are increasing this gangsterism that's happening in the communities. That is some BS. This is why, check this out. You can say that music influences people, but to make it the sole reason is crazy. It is nonsensical. The community is the reason why people live certain lifestyles, their upbringing, the things that they're seeing. Just like I keep saying, gangsterism has always been respected in the community. And when I say that, of course, I'm not saying always. Like, I'm saying, like, it's been that way for a long time. Even in Alonzo and Special Ed in them era. Because I believe LL Cool J got lyrics about looking up to gangsters. Man, he was taking pictures with the OGs.
Well, they have to take some accountability, but at the end of the day now, once again, we go back to the labels. Now, it comes to a point where the labels are paying artists to emulate this, paying the artists in this genre, paying the artists to send these messages out.
Just like I said before, in order for the labels to do that, the labels is, like I said, it's like an algorithm. And what people gravitate towards, they're understanding that the people are gravitating towards the gangsterism. So they're going to put all of their resources into gangster music. In order for that to stop, we as black people have to stop glorifying gangsterism in our own community. We have to, we have to. I made a cartoon a long time ago called Changing the Narrative. We would have to change the narrative. Stop making being a gangster cool. That has to stop. Because just like I said, the labels are only promoting what we want, what the consumers want. If our community had a certain mentality that was opposite of gangsterism, let's just say that the black community glorified being nerds and being intelligent, and it was no longer cool to be a gangster. Guess what? Gangster rap would not be popular anymore. I feel like the industries would promote the stuff that we want. It's an algorithm. That's just like my algorithm on my YouTube channel. When I talk about when I'm more positive and I talk about how much I love hip hop and I talk about all of the hip hop music that I love and like and go into detail on these people's albums, nobody cares about that. What do you care about more? Me being so-called negative. So in order for me to thrive on this platform, I have to be negative, just like with gangster rap. In order for those record companies to continue to make the money that they make, they have to promote what the people gravitate towards. Come on now, y'all ain't hearing me, man. I've been trying to be a positive person on YouTube for about 3 years, and I have been suffering because of that. But now that I'm talking about Kendrick Lamar, Meet the Grams, Kendrick and Drake, all y'all want to start coming back around. It's the same thing. It is the exact same thing. If a record label put all of their resources into an artist that's preaching a so-called positive message, ain't nobody gonna listen to that shit. Why do you think the gangster rappers are so popular? Why do you think the female rappers always rapping about shaking their ass? Because don't nobody want to hear no damn positivity. This struck a nerve now. Because all I see is people on social media gravitating towards negativity all day. All day long, you gravitating towards negativity. All y'all niggas locked in on the P. Diddy trial. You ain't locked in on nothing positive. You're locked in on the P. Diddy trial. Oh my God. Bullshit. So stop acting like y'all niggas want positivity. You don't. Shut up. Like, real talk. Y'all want niggas to talk about bullshit. I didn't even think that this was gonna make me emotional. But now that I'm tying this shit all in, like, man, I don't want to hear this shit no more. For real, bro. If you're somebody that's talking about NWA is destroying the black community, I bet not see nothing on your timeline that got to do with niggas fighting, killing each other. You know how many people be sending me fight videos? Like, I want to watch that shit. I don't want to see none negative. I want to see all positive affirmations on your shit. But I bet you it ain't like that. I bet you the people that you listen to in your playlist are not preaching positive messages all day. Get the hell out of here with that shit, man. I be hating that. Y'all, people always, I want to see, you don't want to see no positivity. Shut up. Fuck out of here with that. Like, real talk, bro. I'm sorry. I didn't think I was going to get amped up like that. But that's facts. And with that being said, I'm going to end the video right here because I'm fired up. I need to calm down. But yeah, I'm going to catch y'all on more videos, man. It's lit over here now. Let's get it.